Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10, 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr Boyce TV. Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Go figure, get the figures, let's make about 8.
Cash rule, cash rule,
When worst come to worst, my peoples come first. I was hardly making George before I'd written a verse. Kept my mind straight, no hate, work with my ambition. Invested in my ideas when nobody would listen. They told me I couldn't do it, so they think I could buy it. But they ain't even trying, ain't no need to deny it. Black continuity of hustle and grind. People been fighting centuries for lives like mine. Trying to look to a higher power, but what I didn't see is the seed of success lies deeper than me. Black Wall Street, gotta get the ground beneath my own feet. Gotta be the sole controller, march to my own beat. Stacking the capital to the best of my ability. More cash in the safe because I put it through liquidity. Started from the minor league, it's major here, but now to practice cracking the safe after we utilizing tactics. Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Stick to cosign for 3. What did he say? Create jobs, support our own. Educate the same and buy back your home. Got 3 degrees, triple 10, 3 PhDs, now we on the CNN. DBTV, let's talk about negligence. Ignorance is bliss, but we can turn it to intelligence. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. Let's break it down here on Dr Boyce TV. Here we are, clan the isms, cataclysm great. Our people out here struggling, trying to make it in this state. Everybody out here doing it, but we the ones who late. Now family, we the ones who gotta delegate. Get that money in the power, never be fake. Go figure, get the figures, let's make about 8.
cash rule, cash rule,
When worst come to worst, my peoples come first. I was hardly making George before I'd written a verse. Kept my mind straight, no hate, work with my ambition. Invested in my ideas when nobody would listen. They told me I couldn't do it, so they think I could buy it. But they ain't even trying, ain't no need.
I hope you guys can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me okay. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins. Welcome to drboycetv.com. This is the home for intelligent Black people. So if you're Black and intelligent, then you are welcome here. This is your place. If you're not Black and intelligent, you are certainly welcome to get the fuck out because we have real conversations here and we don't bend for anybody. We don't take back our words. We don't apologize for shit. I'm not apologizing for anything because before I apologize for being the Black man that I am, America needs to apologize for the way they treated the Black man, the Black woman in this country for the last 400 years. So like they say, they have people that say them first. Well, if you want an apology from me, then you got to go first. We got to hear you first. You must apologize first because I ain't apologizing for nothing. Do me a favor, please hit the thumbs up button, please hit the share button, please hit the subscribe button. And I'm gonna just tell you guys, man, y'all might hear a little bit of a downer in my voice a little bit. The reason you hear a little bit of a down tone in my voice is because I am so hurt right now. I'm just really sad, disappointed. I'm trying to elevate my mood. I really am. But I'll tell you, I had a conversation with Willie D. Willie D's my buddy. He's going to be at my wedding on July 11th. And, he's from the Ghetto Boys and he's down in Houston and and we were just, talking about, and I'm not going to reveal too much of the private conversation. I don't do that kind of thing, but we were both kind of stunned. I think it's okay for us to say that, for me to say that Willie was stunned as I was stunned by Snoop Dogg's sudden change of heart as it related to the Gayle King situation. We were just kind of taken aback and just kind of wondering like, okay, what happened? what was that? Like what the fuck? What the fucking what the fuck was that? I'm sorry. That's literally what's going through my mind. I gotta keep it 100, you guys. I literally was kind of just floored by it. Not because I don't respect Snoop's right to say what he's going to say and to be who he's going to be, and not because I think he should be canceled. I told you guys I don't do cancel culture, none of that stuff. But were you as surprised as me? Give me a yes or no if you were as surprised as I was that Snoop came in and gave not one apology, not one backpedal from his original comment, but two. You know, were you as surprised as me? Because I was surprised. I mean, I was floored. I was like, what the I don't know if I'm mad, if I'm sad, if I'm stunned. I don't know how I feel right now. I swear to God. I mean, I'm like all over the place right now because I'm trying to figure out what the fuck just happened. Willie, I'm not gonna say nothing else, man, because I took notes, brother, and I wrote down things I wanted to bring up, but I literally am still unable to pull the words out of my body. So what's going on, brother? How you doing, man? Thanks for joining us. Everybody, this is Willie D.
Live. You hear me?
Yeah, we are live. You right there. They see you. Everybody give Willie D a digital welcome. Tell him hello. Welcome to Dr. Boyce TV, brother. I'm so glad to have you because I need you to talk because I can't find the motherfucking words right now.
Yeah. The bottom line is that Snoop made an apology he felt like he needed to make for whatever reason. I disagree with that apology. I don't have the same stance. I believe that Gayle King and Oprah Winfrey are enemies to the Black community. And I believe that an enemy gets what an enemy gets. I don't care how someone deals with an enemy. I feel nothing. So while I still consider Snoop as a homie, a friend, we gonna disagree on this one. We gotta agree to disagree on this, and I think that it can be done with respect. But I can say that I took my own poll like you took your poll. And majority of people that I've spoken with in the Black community don't agree with that, don't agree with Snoop apologizing. They felt he was right. The majority of Black people that I've read, whose comments I've read online, don't agree with Snoop apologizing. And that includes women, because they're trying to make this out to be a gender war. They're trying to make it like this is a Black man against Black woman thing. No, this is a Black community against an enemy thing. And we need to get used to the notion of an enemy is an enemy, regardless of what their skin complexion is or what their gender is or what their age is. An enemy is an enemy. And enemies get no protection. Now, I heard this dude, Joe Scarborough, from the Morning Joe. Have you heard his rant?
No, I don't listen to very many white people.
Well, the thing is that he went on a rant. Where are you, Viacom? Viacom, New York Times, it's been 3-4 days since he made this video where he threatened a Black woman's life. He threatened her life. What are you gonna do? All this type of stuff. Like, dude, shut up, because you don't like Black women like that. Because if you did, we would have heard this rant years ago when the police decided they wanted to have an uptick in the abuse of Black women, the brutalization and the murder, the cold-blooded murder of Black women? Where was this outrage when the police hung Sandra Bland? Where was, and all the other Black women that have been abused by not just the police, but what about Black women that have been abused in general, right? In general. This guy ain't spoke up one time about the Black woman life being threatened. He ain't spoke up one time, but now it's Snoop and it's a popular story. And now he feel like it's a low-hanging fruit because he feel like he got Snoop on the ropes. Let me go in. Let me, because after Susan Rice made her comments, it seemed like the elite, the gatekeepers, thought it was cool, it's safe to come out and then go in on Snoop because they started piling up. Once they saw Snoop basically backing off, they were like, okay, we can go in on him now. So it's a situation where he feels like he has a wounded soldier, a wounded animal, and let me go in for the kill now. That's what it is. The dude cared nothing about Black women because if he did, he'd be consistently on the front line chanting and screaming and ranting about saving Black women, about rescuing Black women. So that's not what he's about.
Well, that was that wasn't nothing but a Trump move. Because you see how Trump comes out and says, I'm looking out for the Black community. Nobody's doing anything for the Black community. And we know Trump don't care nothing about Black people, but Trump will use that. He'll say, well, the Democrats never did anything for you in this area, so I'm doing something. What about the Black community, right? So people, your enemy will do that if they're trying to create a divide and conquer. And I think that they, in terms of Scarborough's little rant, what I really saw, and I saw this from the jump, when Snoop made that first statement, I was on with Vicky Dillard from Fly Nubian Queen TV, and I said right then, the first video.
Vicky Dillard.
Vicky's in the chat, by the way. She's in the chat.
Hey, Vic.
Yeah, man. And here's the thing. He did 3 videos. When he did video number 1, I said to him, I thought about, you know what it was? It made me think about when my 9-year-old, a lot of y'all who got kids know what I'm talking about. My 9-year-old she'll go eat dinner and she'll get a plate big enough for 2 grown men. She'll fill the plate up with all this food. And I'll stop her and I'll say, no, that's too much. Put some of that back because you can't eat all that food. And she won't listen. She'll get mad and she'll take the big old plate. Next thing I know, she's stuffed. She done wasted all this damn food. She done got in trouble. And we make her sit there and finish eating it. And she's mad, right?
Right.
Well, when Snoop came out with that first video and made those statements, my thought was, you bit off more than you can chew. You gonna choke on that fucking food that you shoving down your throat right now. Like you really going extra hard on this, and I appreciate that. But you writing a big check, and you're gonna have to cash that, right? Because it was one thing to stand up for Kobe Bryant's legacy. See, that's where it all began. It began with Gayle King attacking in a predatory fashion, like it has happened for 400 years, attacking an innocent Black man's legacy. Snoop stood up for that. I think it should have stopped right there. But when you get to the point where you call her a dog head B, and then also on top of that, you talking about we gonna come get you, maybe he was emotional. It is what it is. But those 2 things, I said, you bit off a lot right there, and it's gonna distract the conversation. And I'll be damned if that ain't what happened. They started making this all about what Snoop said instead of making it about what Gayle did. Gayle is the original predator in this whole sequence of events. And I'm partly flabbergasted, but actually not surprised at all. If you understand white supremacy, none of this surprises you. How white folks get blinders on their bullshit, but they can see our bullshit real clear. They're like, that Negro, look at what that Negro did. Look what that Negro said. And I'm like, you can't see nothing else? So they all got the same blinders. We see Snoop. We see Kobe, we see R. Kelly, we see Russell Simmons, but you can't see Harvey Weinstein. You don't see Epstein. You don't see Trump. You don't see none of that. So they kept talking about what Snoop did and never once mentioned what Gayle did to cause Snoop's initial retaliation in the first place.
Right. Yeah, so it's like what Malcolm X said. If you're not careful, he said that the newspapers will have you hating the people who are being oppressed and loving the people who are doing the oppressing. And that's what we have right here. You have people that they're hating Snoop Dogg, they're hating the people who are speaking out against Gayle King for asking that erroneous question, and they're loving Gayle King because Gayle King has once again been able to pull off the fancy Jedi trick of making everyone think that she's the victim. So she caused the chaos, kind of like why white supremacy operate. You cause chaos, and then you play the victim. You see, and then you point the finger at the people that are being affected the most by your chaos. That's all she did. This is textbook victimization. Create the chaos, perform a transgression, and then play the victim. She running around here talking about she's been threatening her kids' lives. Man, people ain't worried about no Gayle King like that. Gayle King ain't nobody worried about Gayle King like that. Now, don't get me wrong, she is a threat and I do believe that she's a bigger threat than a regular gang member, an average gang member, right? And this is why I say that, because can you hear that beeping that's going on?
Yeah, a little bit. Why? Is it on your end?
Hold on, let me stop it. Hold on.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Okay, so let me break down some stuff for you guys. I'm gonna show you all some pictures. Do me a favor, first of all, and that's Willie D. Willie D Live is his YouTube channel. You should go check him out. Also, just a reminder, if you live in Chicago, I'm actually here for the All-Star Weekend. Etan Thomas is going to hold a panel discussion at Collins High School on Friday. Etan played in the NBA, and he's gathering Craig Hodges and some other NBA players and WNBA players, and I'll be part of the debate as well. We're going to talk about all of this. We're going to talk about all these topics that are happening in the Black community. And so you're invited us on Friday morning. If you want to get the details, addresses, and all that, you live in Chicago, you can go to my Instagram. My Instagram is The Real Boyce Watkins. So just follow me on Instagram anyway, The Real Boyce Watkins. And also, if you want a free e-copy of my book, It Takes a Village to Raise the Bar, you can go to drboycewatkins.net. That's drboycewatkins.net. Everybody hit the thumbs up button. Please retweet and share this conversation. So, Willie, you were speaking a minute ago. Go ahead, brother.
Now, what was it?
I think you were talking about victimization and playing the victim when you really were the predator. You created the chaos, but then you act all shocked and surprised when people call you on your BS.
Yeah, this is what they have to know, that the days are over for people like Gayle and Oprah to use Black men as a punching bag to relieve their stress. Those days are over. Like, for a long time, we've been sitting back taking it because, we feel like, hey, well, that woman, it's a woman, it's a woman, but they've been doing a lot of damage. They have been doing a lot of programming. And that was to my point that I was about to make about Gayle being as much of a danger as an average gang member, because the average gang member, let's say he might go out and beat up a few people, might shoot a couple people, might even take a life or so. So he affects 1 or 2 families or 3 families or whatever, maybe 4 or 5 families, whatever. Gayle King, when she makes those statements like she does, and she singles out our heroes, she is in essence killing dreams. She's stigmatizing, and she's adding to the stigma of Black men that people have about Black men. The negative stereotypes, she's reinforcing those negative stereotypes. And so she is programming legions of people. I'm talking about millions of people. She also has some Black men who are not really got it all together, and maybe some young black men who are trying to still figure out who they are and what their lot in life is, they're still trying to figure it out. When you hear people like Gayle King and Oprah Winfrey constantly attack black males, you say, damn, is something wrong with me? I mean, they're only attacking people that looks like me. They're always saying bad things about black men. You know, why aren't they don't say anything about the other guys? So I guess the other men are perfect. I guess other men don't rape. I guess other men don't get accused of rape. You know, I guess other men don't cheat. You know, you had one out there talking about black men cheat because of slavery. So, so you have, just like you have some women who self-doubt their identity because of the imageries that are out there being projected on them by mainstream media and those who hate our guts. You also have black men who are victimized by these assaults. So, and she's affecting millions of people because, you know, if you want to, you know, you want to kill a dream, you want to kill hope, you want to kill an idea, well, you get to the mind first. You destroy the mind first, and it's a wrap. So this is why I say people like Gayle is dangerous. People like Oprah are dangerous. A lot of people don't see it because all they see is, it's just some old women, just a couple of old women talking about men, having a discussion. And plus, you know, they're successful. But Boyce, for a long time, for a very long, I'm talking about a couple of decades at least. Oprah has said things from time to time to disparage black men, and I kind of gave her a pass because, you know, it's Oprah Winfrey. She's done a lot of good things. She does a lot of good in the community. But bigger than that, so many black women look up to her. Little girls look up to her. And they say, Oprah, oh, she's so successful. Everybody wants to be successful, so that's admirable. She's successful. You know, she came from nothing. She was a victim of rape and sexual assault. You know, she had a hard life and she pulled herself up by her bootstraps. And look at her now. That's a good role model. That's a good example. This is a good role model. This is somebody that I can look up to and I can have my daughters to respect. So I did not want to do anything to interrupt how black women feel about her, and that because I knew that it was so many black women who considered her to be a shero. So I don't want to be the person to try to bring her down and say anything bad about her. But enough is enough, bro. Enough is enough. And it doesn't matter, like I said, what your gender is. Doesn't matter how much hue you have. If you are a detriment to our community, then you got to go. An enemy is an enemy. We have to get used to that notion. An enemy is an enemy. The sooner we get used to that notion, the sooner we can get our rapist ass uncles out of the house so that they won't rape another generation of girls.
That's right.
The sooner we get used to that notion, we can get the gangster who's selling our mamas and our grandmamas and our daddies and our children drugs off the damn corner and lighting up the corner, riding by, shooting up. Sooner we can get rid of their asses, the sooner we can straighten out our situation. We sit back, keep on making excuses for people because we see maybe some shadow of ourselves in these people, or we see perhaps our own blood in these people, our friends that we grew up in these people. But Their asses got to go, just like people who do damage to our communities, outside of our communities got to go, and they got to be dealt with. We got to have that same energy, that same amount of outrage for those who who harm us from within.
Let me show you something, man. Let me show you something that reflects how, you know, how this made me feel when I saw the second apology. And I felt like I really believe it was a forced apology. I really don't believe Snoop really wanted to do that. I believe that he was pressured, forced, coerced into it. The first statement came off as real. The last two came off as somebody got to you. Somebody was telling you something. Maybe it was the lawyer. Maybe it was the money manager. Maybe it was the Susan Rice and the CIA. Maybe it was somebody said something that pushed that. Maybe it was your mama. I don't know. I'm not judging. But let me say this, man. Let me show you some pictures here. Does anybody remember this picture right here, Tiger Woods? Remember what this is a picture when Tiger Woods was apologizing after he was married to a Becky, and Becky found him cheating. So she tried to murder him. She committed attempted murder with a golf club and put the golf club upside his head and busted his head so bad that he couldn't go in public for 2 weeks. But yet, despite the fact that she tried to murder him, he was the one apologizing. He was attacked, yet he was the one apologizing. Here's another picture. This is a picture of Terrell Owens. Now, y'all remember when Terrell Owens was apologizing? He had to, I still don't know what the fuck Terrell did that was wrong, because Terrell, he might have been arrogant. I don't know. If that's what you think, that's fine. You might have thought he was a little cocky, a little bit out of pocket at times, but Terrell never committed a crime that I know of. He never hurt nobody. But for some reason, they had him on TV apologizing, and he looked sad and pathetic when he did it. Here's another picture of Michael Vick. Michael Vick made a mistake. He got involved in some dog fighting. We know dog fighting is not appropriate, but there were white folks out here trying to get him lynched because he hurt some dogs. You go kill a black man, they give you 2 weeks of paid leave, and you come back on the job and everything is forgiven. On your GoFundMe account gets $100,000 in it. But you kill a puppy, then next thing you know, they're trying to give him the death penalty, and they wanted to destroy this man and take away his ability to ever make money ever. And there he is apologizing. Here's Kobe Bryant. After some ratchet ass, mentally ill, hoe ass, lying ass woman looking for a payday decided to make an accusation with no proof whatsoever. I'm talking about a lady who was on medication for schizophrenia. I'm talking about a lady who has semen and pubic hairs from several men in her drawers that week. That after she makes an allegation, Kobe's on TV apologizing. And here's what this makes me think about, Willie, and I'll let you get your take on this. When I see all these black men being put in a position where they're being forced to apologize, and I'm gonna run through these images. Look, they got the same look on their face, sad, looking down, looking weak. It reminds me of when something Malcolm X used to talk about, where he said, in America, they do their best to make sure the black man never gets a chance to be a man. They want you to be a little boy. They want you to submit. They want you on your knees. They want you don't look up, you don't look them in the eye, you look down at the ground. Just like though all them guys are looking down like this, like, yes, sir, I'm sorry, sir. And here's what's crazy. They will attack you. This is how much they think they can bully black men. They will attack you and then have you be apologizing. Like, Massa, I'm sorry that I put my head in the way of your baseball bat, Massa. I apologize for getting in the way when you decided to throw your punch because my face hit your hand. And I'm sick of it, man. I'm sick of it. And it's no disrespect to Snoop. I'm not gonna do it because I know he's your friend and everything, and I respect what he tried to do, but I'm just tired of that, man. I refuse to submit to any of that. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I just believe that like I said before, if the apology is genuine, I have no problem. I don't care what the transgression is. If you apologize and you genuinely feel that, you know, you wrong someone and you apologize, I have no problem with that. I have a problem with when an apology is insincere. You know, when it's disingenuous. You know, just like any people who watching this right now, every one of us know that friend or maybe that significant other who's apologized and you like, man, you don't really mean it, you just saying that. And you know they full of BS, right? And, you know, so you didn't respect it. But if it's genuine, then I have no problem with it. But interesting enough that you showed Michael Vick. Michael Vick, once he got basically eviscerated, he came out tap dancing like Sammy Davis Jr., you know, rapped in, what's the other guy named? The big tap dancer. What was
Gregory? You know about Gregory Hines?
Gregory Hines, man. It was like a Gregory Hines, Sammy Davis Jr. little baby or something. He was doing some tap dancing, man. And Michael Vick been tap dancing ever since. You know, he's been tap dancing ever since. So, and I look at dude with a side eye now, because he did have it all, and black people stood next to him because we saw that he was being lynched in the media, and we stood by him. And when he got out of jail, the first opportunity that he got, he started tap dancing. And he's been tap dancing ever since. I think somebody had said he's since changed the taps on his shoes about 2,000 times since he's been out of jail. I'm not sure. I have to verify that.
You know, I'm gonna say this, man. You know, I think that the apology could have worked if it had been a reciprocal apology. You know, like if two people get into it and one person comes up and says, "Look, I'm sorry for what I did," you know, sincerely, and the other one says, "I'm sorry for what I did too." That to me is something that can be done while you maintain your dignity, keep your dignity intact. But here's what's fascinating to me. Nobody, I mean, y'all can tell me, give me a yes or no. None of those people on the other side of the fence apologized for anything. They did not apologize to Kobe Bryant's family. They didn't apologize to his wife. They didn't apologize to his children. They did not apologize to the black men who are tired of being falsely accused. They didn't apologize for anything. All they did was they demanded that Snoop apologize to Gayle. And I think that that's the problem. It's bad negotiation in the sense that, you know, when you give up something and the other side says, well, I ain't gonna give up shit, then that pretty much is them saying, I've dominated you. Like, checkmate, motherfucker. Like you got nothing out of this negotiation except, you know, a demotion, right? And so what I will say this here too, man, is that I'm gonna show you another picture, Willie. And here's what I think made it difficult for Snoop to do it. I appreciate what he tried to do, but I'm gonna tell you why I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have issued that first video if I was him, because, you know, here's the image of him with Martha Stewart, right? And now here's the deal. Here's the part that I'm seeing. This is where, you know, you guys know I talk about economics all the time. And money, the reason I think black people got to understand money is because money drives a lot of your decisions. Money is one of the reasons why you can't be free. Money is the reason why most of y'all ain't got no real freedom of speech. Money is the reason why you don't have freedom of expression. Money is the reason why you don't have freedom of anything, because the first thing white folks do when they get mad at you is they try to shut you down financially. Snoop's got that deal with Martha Stewart, among other deals that he's got. And that show, y'all don't know this, but Snoop and Gayle King both get paid by Viacom, right? So Viacom is sitting in the middle of this, watching two of their biggest celebrity brands go at it, you know, on the air. And so if you think about this, and I saw this analysis on this in Variety magazine, where they had to figure out, they were thinking, okay, which is the bigger brand? Which person's more important to the network? Who can we get rid of, Snoop or Gayle King? Well, Gayle King's going to win because CBS This Morning is a bigger revenue driver than that Martha Stewart show. So I speculate that Viacom got involved. And that's why when you were talking earlier about how Joe Scarborough was ranting and saying, where's Viacom? Where's Viacom? Because he knew that these two are getting paid by the same, they pray to the same master, so to speak, economically. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, that's kind of, if that's the case, then, and I haven't looked into it, but if that's the case, that reminds me of, you know, basically how major labels do it. You have a dispute between, let's say, an independent label and an artist. If there's any type of dispute whatsoever, the major is going to hold the funds until y'all figure it out. They're not going to release any funds until y'all figure it out. And if you can't figure it out, then they'll figure it out for you. You know, if it gets too heavy, they'll go in and decide who they're going to roll with and who they're going to stop doing business with.
Yeah, and you know, and that's why we got to train ourselves and train our children to be bosses, because the reality is that you can't really in this world talk about being free if you don't understand how to become economically free. You know, Farrakhan talks about that all the time, that every time it's time for you to stand up, the white man's going to stand over you and tell you to sit your black ass down. Sit down, boy, until you are grown enough to stand up on your own. And I think that in this situation, you know, the thing that still sticks with me, man, I did that survey. On my survey, man, 88% of you guys that responded all said that you didn't agree with Snoop's apology. And so to me, if 88% of all black people disagreed with this move, then it couldn't have been the right move. It wasn't the right move for black people. So moving forward, man, I personally think there's going to be repercussions on this, Willie. I think that the Democratic Party is going to pay a price on this. I mean, if you think about this, when this big issue was happening and every black person in America was talking about it, a few prominent black voices were not to be heard at all, did not say a word, namely like the Obamas, Barack and Michelle. They didn't say shit about it because they don't touch real issues that really affect black people. You saw a few other people out there that you can name that didn't touch it. So I personally think that in the next election, I think you're going to have millions of black people who are going to stay home. They're not going to listen to the black elite because all the black elite aligned. They all made it clear. They drew a line in the sand. They said, we do not care about the people. We do not connect with the people. And we all side with Gayle. We stand with Gayle with unconditionally. There was no sort of nuance like, okay, I'm going to stand with Gayle, but I understand where Snoop was coming from. You didn't really hear that from a lot of the black elite. The people getting these big checks from white folks, they just sort of say, we stand with Gayle. I think there's going to be a price to pay for that. I really do. What do you think?
Well, there's always a price to pay for. How can I say this in a manner that won't get your channel shut down? I think that's, how can I say this in a way that won't get your channel shut down? Okay, so I think that there's always a price to pay for selling out the people. You know, I think there's always going to be a price to pay for that. You know, like anytime because I just believe in the people, period. I'm always riding for, well, what do the people want? What do the people collectively? What do the people want collectively? Like, I have no problem getting on code, you know. What do the people want collectively? And that's what we need to do. And I think anytime you get off code, there's going to always be a price to pay. And I think that the black elite, I know some people would say, well, they was on code because that's how they do. I think it's a different code, and we have rewritten the code. The people has rewritten the code. This is why they don't like social media, because the people now have a voice. You know, being able to have your viewpoint reach the ears of a celebrity when I was growing up was, I mean, you could probably live a lifetime and your favorite celebrity wouldn't know who you are, wouldn't be able to recognize a username or picture or nothing. I don't care if we didn't have all of that type of stuff. But now, even if you got 50 million followers, if you got a user that constantly comments on your post, you're gonna see that user. If you have a person who has a strong enough platform, they don't have to be a major celebrity, but if they have a strong enough platform and you know, or even if they don't have one at all, if they put out some type of information that's compelling enough for other people to look at it and say, oh, wow, I'm gonna share this, then all of a sudden, you know who, I don't know, Barbara Williams is in Kalamazoo. And all she did was check you for getting out of line, for getting out of pocket. So a lot of these celebrities and the gatekeepers, they are intimidated by the people having a voice, by social media giving the common man and woman a voice. They are very intimidated by that. And that's why I say the days of the elite getting by and saying whatever they want to say and just being able to attack the black and get away with it, that's over.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, what bothers me about all this, man, is, you know, everybody in the chat, I want to ask you a yes or no question. Give me a yes or no. Give me a yes or no if you know of any black man who has done time in jail or in prison after being falsely accused. Everybody just, you know, speak a voice for them, because some of y'all got loved ones in jail right now who either were who were mischarged or overcharged. Maybe they got, you know, 20 years in prison for a crime that was nonviolent. You know, I know guys that dealt, you know, sold some dope and didn't never killed nobody, didn't have no weapon or nothing, but sold some dope in the 80s and the 90s and are still locked up. Give me a yes or no. And I think these voices need to be heard. And the reason I bring that up is because, you know, that's what I was thinking about, Willie, when I saw Gayle just basically talking as if Kobe might be a rapist when he didn't actually do anything. Now, Kobe, you know, Kobe's gone. Kobe's a multimillionaire. He was when he died. You know, his chances of going to jail weren't as great as most men. But you think about that, though, that man was facing life in prison, 20 to life, you know, over a false allegation made by a random woman. Think about this. I mean, if he was really out here hurting people like that, he'd have had other accusers. He'd have had 10, 15 women stepping up saying, oh, he did it to me. He did that to me, right? Nothing. You saw nothing out of this man. So, you know, when I saw what they were trying to do to Kobe, I just thought, I mean, think about this. If they could do that to Kobe, they could do that to any black man out here. And it ain't like they haven't done it. You know, a lot of y'all saw that documentary, the Malcolm X documentary. It's on Netflix right now that everybody's talking about. 2 men did 20 years in prison for allegedly killing Malcolm X because they said, look, any Negro will do. Any black man will do. And they just went and got 2 brothers, locked them up. No evidence, no nothing, because they wasn't even there. They weren't even in the room when he got shot, but they were like, it don't matter. They black. So to me, when you have black women and Oprah and Gayle, I'm sorry, I don't look at, they can never be victims to me because Oprah and Gayle are, you know, Oprah's a billionaire. Gayle is buddies with a billionaire. She's a multimillionaire herself. She makes $11 million a year at CBS. So when I saw Gayle come out there with those, Oprah, when Oprah came out there with those Becky tears, crying like a white woman, talking about Gayle needs security now, I maybe that works for stupid people. Maybe that works for dumb motherfuckers. But I'm sitting there thinking, you're Gayle King. You probably have security since 1988. Like, what are you talking about? She needs security now. That didn't even make any sense to me. And she's getting death threats. Y'all give me a yes or no. Has anybody seen any proof that there were any death threats presented to Oprah or Gayle at any point during all of this? Have you seen any proof whatsoever? A screenshot? Did they put out a voice recording? What's their proof? They have no proof. So, and Willie, I'd love for you to address this, man. But here's what they were doing. They were doing the same thing white people do by making the black man into the boogeyman. They were basically screaming out to their other white friends, their white relatives, that look, oh my God, this black man is attacking me, and all the black men are attacking me. It's not just him, it's not just Snoop, it's all of the black men, and it's terrible because we need security now. And oh my God, I'm gonna break down and cry. Right. That they've been doing that to black men for hundreds of years, man. It's crazy.
But it's not working anymore now. See, the veil has been pulled back. And it's not working. It's not working like it used to. And I've heard people say, well, if Kobe didn't, Kobe wrote a letter to the victim apologizing. Why would he do something like that if he's not guilty? Why would he do something like that? Why would he admit to such a heinous crime if he's not guilty? Well, if you know anything about law in America, the judicial system in America, every single day, millions of people are coerced, millions of defendants are coerced into pleading guilty to crimes that they did not commit because the penalty of fighting or exercising their constitutional rights is too great to risk. So a person will just, first of all, anytime you make an apology or stuff like that, it's got to sound convincing. It's got to sound like you're remorseful. You got to sound convincing. So it's easy to assume that Kobe only wrote that letter so that he could avoid a lengthy trial, a costly trial, and one in which he could have been convicted. Because in America, man, it's a crap shot. It don't matter how even much money you got sometimes. You know, you see Bill Cosby, it's a crap shot in this judicial system. So Kobe had like these, what is, he played basketball, what is it, like 9 months out of the year they play basketball? And he ain't got time to be going back and forth to no court trial and going through depositions and hearings and all that kind of stuff. Somebody told that man, look, man, write this letter. We're gonna give her this check and we're gonna be through with this, man, and don't do that no more, man. Don't go over that no more. Don't deal with that. Don't deal with that anymore. But like, to your point, how do you make a credible witness or even credible victim out of a woman who claimed to have been raped by a man, and you find 3 additional men's semen in her panties, and nobody even questions her credibility? I'm not saying that he didn't do something wrong. You see, I'm just saying that there's a benefit of doubt there, and it should not be given to her. The benefit of doubt should be given to Kobe, because she is the one. Like any other type of situation, if somebody heard, man, she had semen for 4 different dudes in her panties, you're like, oh man, she yuck, nasty, she all kind of names. But somehow she avoided criticism, and all of the attacks have been directed at Kobe, even in death, and by his own people more than anybody. How does that work?
Well, you know, let me say,
and let me say something else. I know I asked you a question, but let me say something else. We talk about how this woman at the Washington Post. I heard somebody say, well, where was this venomous energy when the woman at the Washington Post, when the white woman at the Washington Post made comments or actually posted a link to Kobe's sexual assault, when Gayle simply asked the question, where was this venomous energy towards the white woman? We spoke on that, and we hit back hard at that. But the fact of the matter is, we expect that from them. Mm-hmm. We expect more. We expect to be given a fair shot when Black people are elevated. We expect to be given a fair shot in the form of a balanced playing field that has been historically unleveled against us. We get a Black person in there. Why do we have these Black people on these big old platforms? And why are we supporting? Why do we give our support to these people? They sell us out, they sell us up the river, they drag us out, they single us out, and then we're supposed to continue to support them anyway just because they're Black. I don't think any group of people should ever be so desperate as to accept. They shouldn't be so desperate for a symbol of success as to accept anybody. even if it's somebody that's a detriment to the community, just because the person looks like you, we're supposed to accept them just because they share our same hue. No, man, it don't go like that.
Well, I think that's a big mistake that we make. And I think that we have to grow out of that and understand that the most effective white supremacist is usually a black person. You know, black people make the best white supremacists because you're gonna let your guard down. You're gonna let them into spaces that white folks can't go. You're gonna let them have conversations that white folks can't have. You know, like CBS, for example, when I saw, even, you know, I'm not even out here defending some of the stuff R. Kelly was accused of, because, you know, I had issues with him back in the day, you know, for some of the stuff I was seeing, it kind of bothered me. But I will say that when I saw that interview between Gayle and R. Kelly, and remember, Gayle got paid off of that. She got paid big time off of that. And you know, when I saw that, I said, okay, those are Negro conversations. Those are Negro discussions. Like, you're not going to see a white person going at R. Kelly like that, right? You're not going to see Gayle going after a white person like that. You know, she wouldn't go after, you know, Bill Clinton been accused of all kinds of stuff with women. She ain't never going to, if she ever did that, they'll take her back to the barn and beat her back to 1802. Like, for real, like, Gayle ain't never gonna go after Bill Clinton. But Bill Clinton, am I right or am I right? Bill Clinton has many accusations against him, but those are conversations you're not allowed to have. And I think also, when you're talking about Kobe's accuser, what's fascinating, I read Kobe's statement, and I had it in front of me. You know, when you were talking, I was processing that. Kobe, in his statement, when it came down to the accuser, he never confessed to anything, and I think we both understand that. And what tends to happen in those situations is really fascinating. Is it's like you're being coerced not to tell the truth, but to tell their truth. You know, like there's a lot of people I've seen people that stayed in jail because they would say, "Do you have remorse for the crimes you committed?" And they would say, "Your Honor, I am innocent. I did not do this." And they would say, "Okay, well, you're going back to jail now." Right. So that's cruel and unusual punishment. That's torture. You can't do that. I can't go to you and say, well, tell me the truth about what really happened. And then when you tell me the truth, I'll punish you because your truth is not the truth that I want to hear. Right.
Yeah.
So,
you don't, and also you can do your so-called apology all you want. Your apology is not valid until they approve it. Case in point, Kevin Hart. When Kevin Hart said, look, I already apologized for the statement that I made about homosexuals way back. I already said I was wrong. They said, you ain't said you was wrong for us. It didn't appease us. You need to apologize like we want you to apologize. When we say it's good enough, it's good enough then. Only then, when we say it's good enough, then your apology is good. But until we say it's good enough, I don't care what they think and all your fans, all your millions of fans and followers think. Don't apologize like we want you to apologize and watch what happens. Then here comes the apology. You see? So apologizing ain't enough. Your apology got to be approved by them.
And let me throw this out there too, man. You know, when you talk about the apologies, you talk about Kobe. So now, you know, I think that as Black men, I think it's important for us to make sure, number one, we set the record straight in terms of what happened to Kobe when he was victimized by that white female predator who decided that she wanted to go get a payday. One thing that I forgot to mention, now I mentioned to you guys that she was on medication for schizophrenia. And if you look up schizophrenia, one of the symptoms of schizophrenia is detachment from reality, meaning that your reality is not the actual reality that's around you, right? So she had that issue. She had tried to kill herself 2 times in the previous 2 months before she met Kobe. They said it was a quest to get attention from her boyfriend. We know she had pubic hair and semen from other men in her panties, and she claimed that it was because she went to the rape kit exam and she accidentally grabbed a pair of dirty drawers or something like that, which is y'all gonna let y'all just say what y'all want about that. But another piece in here, Willie, that I did not mention to anybody yet, because I just picked up on this when I read through the details of that case, is that she actually lied 2 or 3 times to the police, and she admitted to lying to the police. And these were details involving what she did that day. And they were relatively minor details, but it proves beyond any doubt, according to her words, that she is a liar or that she is capable of telling a lie, which I guess I have to go to that point because we want to believe white women don't lie, even though they've been lying since we got here on slave ships. But one thing she lied, for example, about they said, well, why didn't you come to work? Why did you come to work late that day? She said, I had car trouble. My car broke down. That wasn't true. Later on, she admitted, actually, I overslept. I didn't actually have car trouble. I just lied to the police because I felt like he didn't believe me. Right. And then also, she told the investigators that Kobe made her stay in the room and wash her face. And she said, that's not true. I didn't wash my face. Kobe, she said, I was held in the room against my will. That's what she claimed. But I didn't wash my face in the room. I just walked out and wiped my face down or something. It was something like some little details like that. But for whatever it was, she went out of her way to write a letter to them, basically telling them that she lied about these things. And also in Kobe's letter where he's apologizing just to kind of make it go away, it seems like, first of all, he's saying clearly that my interpretation of the events does not match yours, but I'm sorry for how you feel. I'm sorry if you feel that I did something wrong to you. And then he says in the letter, check this out. He says, and then I'm sure her lawyers made him do this. He wrote, she's not receiving any compensation whatsoever. That's bullshit, because she had not got compensation at the time the letter was written. But from the reports I have seen, she walked away with a $2.5 million payday.
She got paid.
She got paid. Yeah. So I think that
that's what the whole thing was about anyway. Like, and let's go back a little bit. Even if she did go into the hamper, what she called a hamper, it's probably some dirty drawers on the floor. But even if she did grab some dirty drawers out the hamper or the floor, wherever she got them from, and put them on, it still says something about her character that she had 3 different men semen or 4 different men semen in her drawers. It still says something about her character. Go to any court in America with that case and it's going to get thrown out. You're going to get laughed out of the courtroom. Nobody's going to be able to win a case like that. But because it was Kobe Bryant, then he went on and settled because he had the money and he didn't have time to deal with it. And he felt like, you know what, let me kill this media circus before it gets started. And that's why he settled, in my opinion. But the woman should not have had any credibility whatsoever. But somehow they found a way to actually elevate her to beyond being a victim and a hero, basically. Like, she now is like considered to be, some type of champion for sexual abuse victims.
Yep. Well, you know what that really is? That ain't nothing but a replay of that movie that they made 100 years ago called Birth of a Nation, where they, remember that movie? It was all about Klansmen who went and, murdered a black man or something. I got to go watch it to see the details again. But from what I understand, there was a black man attacking a white woman, and the Klan were the heroes who went out and protected the white woman against the black man. Same thing is true. But when Black Wall Street got burned down, it was a Kobe Bryant situation where a black man was accused of touching a white woman. So the brave white men, the heroes, went and burned down everything and killed all these black people, locked them all up because they were protecting the community, right? Same thing is true now. Now you've got these so-called feminist heroes who are basically being praised for taking down the black man who's always been seen as a predator, even though in many cases we've been the prey, right? So ultimately, I think people got to understand, like there's nothing new under the sun. Like, this ain't nothing but America being America. And the reason it surprises so many people is because they've given you this delusion of inclusion to make you believe that America is not the same country that it's been for the last 400 years.
Yeah, well, going back to what you said about these white men, what did you describe them as? The ones that go out and fight and champion the white woman and fight.
Oh, the heroes?
The heroes, right? These guys who have that type of mentality, they don't give a damn about white women. You know why? They don't care about white women being raped. You know why? Majority of white women get raped by white men. Where are these dudes when white women are being raped? You know, where was the lynching of the white men when the white women were being raped? Even during slavery, most white women were raped by white men. In fact, damn near all white women, because a black man would not dare rape a white woman. So where was all of these lynchings? Where was this outrage when white men were raping white women and beating them up? Beating them, not just because black men would get lynched for looking at a white lady. White men were beating up their white women. Where is all of this outrage right now? For all of the tens of thousands of white women who get raped every year. Where is this outrage from white men? Where's the outrage from the white media? Where is the outrage from Me Too? It's fake outrage. It's selective outrage. It's only when a black man is accused, not even necessarily guilty. It's just accused is when it's a problem. And then they go, how dare you do us like we do us? That's what it's about. Do as I say, not as I do. That's that self-entitlement thing that they have about themselves. And they can't stand, right now, it's one of them out there now, a few of them out there, it's not more than one, but it's a few of them out there right now watching this broadcast right now. And they going, hate us to death because we know who they really are. And we're smarter than they think we are collectively. And they're listening like, how can I get rid of him? How can I stop this madness of black men coming together and having an intellectual conversation and sharing information that could progressively help the black community? How can I destroy that? That is what it's about.
Well, man, you know, I'll tell you what, I think with all this stuff with Kobe and Gayle and Snoop and all that, you know, I think it's really important for everybody who's watching. I want to make it 100% clear. You know, I'm not mad at Snoop. I just kind of feel bad. I'd be curious to know what it was behind the scenes that drove the apology. You know, I feel that really when you're talking about fighting for your freedom, the best people I believe to fight for the freedom for the black community, I mean, really fight for that freedom, have to be free black people. You know, and I don't really know if anybody that works for Viacom is getting too much money from white folks is really in a position to really be able to do that. You have to be ready to lose something. You got to be ready to lose something. I think, you know, so I can't really say I can't even say I know what it feels like to possibly lose $20 million or $10 million or whatever for what I believe in. Right. So that's one of the reasons why I don't want to be in that position.
Well, I know what it feels like to lose millions for standing up for what I believe in. I know what it's like. And I can tell you that it's a shitty deal. It's a shitty deal when you are, you know, when you are forced into limitations because of standing on what's right, standing for your convictions. See, we talk about how being real is and how we are real and how we like real people. You're real, you're real, you're real. But really, this world, that we live in, the society in which we roam is really not about being real. It's really about being as fake as your ass can possibly be. And it's as simple as going to work, getting on the elevator, and somebody saying, good morning. And you just immediately say good morning back without thinking about how this guy just cut you off. You're late for work. It's the first day of work. You spilled your coffee. You know, it's a shitty morning. It's not a good morning. It's a shitty morning, but you say, good morning. Or somebody says, hey, nice, hold on, I think my battery is getting low over here. Let me see how low my battery is. Hold on.
Well, everybody hit the thumbs up button while you're watching, by the way. Hit the thumbs
I
up.
got about 6 ticks on my battery. So, and I can charge it up if you want to keep going. But getting back to how fake everybody is and how this society that we live in really is. Somebody says, "Oh, I like those shoes," and immediately you're looking for something that person has on that you like. Nice purse. Purse look like trash. But you're going to say it's nice because you just want to return the compliment, right? And so it's really, like look at all of the people, look at most of the people who are really on top as far as like financial success and stuff like that. Look at their policies, the way that they live their life, the things that they do, the moves that they make. And you're like, man, that is really a low down person. But the minute that person come around, you like, can I get a picture? Not me. I don't care. Like when I see people like, what's his name? Jim Brown, Kanye West, Steve Harvey. These dudes have huge platforms. They all have people willing to bend down and kiss the ring. And they're over there kissing Trump ass, licking all up in his ass. Just, like, man, you doing all that just because he's the president? You can't see how dirty, low down this dude is, the stuff that he does, the stuff he says, his policies. But you want to do all of this because he has power, because he's the president of the United States. I don't give a damn what your position in life is. I don't care about your stature, how much money you have, how many records you sold, how many movies you did. I don't care how many apartment buildings you own, how many houses you own. I don't care about any of that. All of that's nice, and I'll give you your props for working to achieve whatever you got or whatever you accomplish. But what I want to know more than anything, the person that I want to kick it with, the person that I want to have a cup of coffee with, the person that I want to hang out with, is I want to know, what kind of person are you? That's most important to me. What kind of person are you? And I make my decisions based on how well I sleep. If I make a decision and I'm tossing and turning, that was the wrong decision. Maybe I said something wrong, I did something that somebody didn't agree with, and I feel like, well, maybe I was wrong. So if I feel like I can't sleep, I'm gonna call that person up and say, man, hey, I was wrong. Bad move, I was wrong. If it makes me sleep good at night, I will knock your head off and sleep like a baby.
Well,
but I'm not going to kiss ass, and I'm not going to want to take pictures with you and kick it with you and all that stuff just because you have a certain position. And it's too many of us. You look at all those pastors that ran over there taking pictures with Donald Trump, talking about he gonna work for the black community and do this and do that and do this. He ain't did nothing. All he did was use these fools for a photo op.
Well, you got a lot of people that think like that. Like I see you wearing that shirt that says "Be real, be righteous, be relevant." So that tells you and I are both friends with D1.
That's D1. Oh, hold that thought. Let me charge this battery.
Go ahead and take care of that, man. Go ahead and take care of that. Everybody, while we wait for Willie to come back, hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Also, please hit the retweet button. And also, if you want a free e-copy of my book, It Takes a Village to Raise the Bar, please go to drboycewatkins.net. That's drboycewatkins.net. And if you live in Chicago, Friday morning, I'm going to be at, I believe it's called Collins High School. And I'm going to be participating in a debate during All-Star Weekend. Etan Thomas, a former NBA player, is hosting a debate where we're going to talk about all these issues. So if you live in Chicago, I think it's free. You can get the address. I think it's Collins High School, but you can get the address and all the information on my Instagram. The Instagram's The Real Boyce Watkins. So go check it out on Instagram if you'd like to come out. And don't forget to get the free copy of my book. Feel free to go to drboycewatkins.net. All right. So, what I'll say, man, is and I appreciate you coming in here, and I'm not gonna keep for too long. And And I know I got my family over here waiting and stuff like that for me to be done, because this is just really on my heart, man. But I will say that at the end of the day, that authenticity is critical, and it's costly, and it's necessary. I really think that when you talk about this battle, this really is a spiritual battle. This battle against white supremacy is a spiritual battle. It is not for people that don't know who they are. It's not for people who ain't willing to pay a big price. It's not for people who are going to get confused, or it's not for people with low self-esteem. It's not for people who are going to go run up under a white man just because he got money. Because remember, when Harvey Weinstein was out here, you got 1,000 black celebrities that were kissing Weinstein's ass, and a whole bunch of them knew that Harvey Weinstein was messed up, man. I mean, Dame Dash told me about Weinstein's crazy ass years before all that happened. Like that was why he went off on Weinstein, when everybody thought he was crazy for going off on him. So my thing is, it's okay. I guess that's what it's going to be, right? Most of the world is not built for this fight. Most black folks are white supremacists. Most black folks just, we buckle and fold to where the money's at, to where we think power is.
Hold on. You think most black folks are white supremacists, or do you think most black people that are prominent are white supremacists?
No, I think most black people, we think about this. White supremacy means you think that white people are superior to you. That when we go spend money, are we more likely to spend our money with a black business or a white business? Many of us are more likely to give our money to white folks because we think they got superior education. Well, hold on, let me finish. I would like to hear your point. Education. Do most of us send our kids to be educated by black people, or do we send our kids to be educated by white people? Right? Media. Do most of us try to consume black media, or do we consume more white media than black media? Right? When it comes to going to college, you got black people that can educate you, but we going in debt in about the billions to white universities. So I believe that we think that white people are better than us. I think as a community, not all of us individually, so as a community, if you look at our actions, where we put our money, where we put our energy, where we put our support, we tend to support what white folks got going on before we support anything black. So that makes us white supremacists. What do you think?
See, this is why I don't really like you sometimes, because you make too much damn sense. You see what I'm saying? You make too much damn sense, boys. But you're on the money, man. Damn, I mean, you are on the money, bro. You're on the money. I can't argue that.
Well, I'll tell you, man, I'll say this, and I want everybody to just definitely hear this. I got a lot of respect for you, man, and I think that it's in terms of the things that bother me most. And this is the reason, the reason why this whole thing, like, I don't like to see a black man have to get on his knees for nothing. And I think one of the things I respect about you is I think they'd have to kill you before they got you to bow down. And I think that's what we need. And I know there's a lot of brothers like that in here. There's a lot of black women as well in here that are ready for the fight. And so I'm gonna say this, man. I think this ain't over. I think they won the battle, and they're probably gonna go and act like they won. You saw Michelle Obama and Oprah up on stage. Michelle Obama ain't said nothing about none of this, right? Don't care nothing about what's going on with black men. Oprah sitting up on stage. They all getting money. They all happy, but they're gonna pay a price. It's gonna come back to them. And so like when Snoop said, we're gonna come get you, I say the same thing. Oh, we gonna come get you. Just we ain't gonna come get you physically. We ain't gonna come. I ain't trying to condone no violence and none of that. But we're gonna come get you when the election comes. When the Democratic Party can't get black people to come out and vote, they're gonna say, what have you done for me? When it comes time for us to support whatever you got going on, I think black folks, I think this is a wake-up call for a lot of black people that they could get away with something like this and have the arrogance to think that they don't even have to fucking address you. Like the arrogance for them to think they don't even have to fucking say your name or acknowledge what Gayle King did to the image of the black man. You gonna pay a price. Until you do right by black people, nothing good will come to you. I'll let you get the last word, man, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Before I go, first of all, same thing, it's mutual respect over here for you boys, man. You are necessary. I say it all the time. I know sometimes I say it's so much to you. You be, man, shut up, man. But I really do appreciate you, man, because it takes a lot to walk in your shoes and to say the things that you say, and it takes a lot to love on us, man, because a lot of times us are the main ones who make our jobs harder. Like, it's some people just don't want to be loved. They like the pain. So I'll salute all of the people out there that spoke out against Gayle King and the people who continue to speak out against her and Oprah. It's not over because they're just taking a break from dragging black men. They're taking a break. And I'm gonna tell you something else. When they drag black men, they drag the black community, because we are part of the black community, and the black women out there who love us, you know, we are their children, you know, we are their husbands, we are their fathers, we are their cousins, we are their friends. And vice versa, you know, they are our sisters, they are our mothers, they are our cousins, our aunts, you know, they are our significant others. So this is why you will never see me dragging black women. You know, you'll never see me, when I will drag a black woman that I think is not on the team. If she's not on the team, she gets no protection. So I don't have a problem with that. But black women, you cannot come holler at me. I don't have friends who hate black women. I don't know how a dude can even exist when you hate that from which you came. If you black and you hate that from which you came, you should pretty much just kill yourself, because you are useless to anybody. You can't help yourself. You can't help if you got children. You damn sure don't deserve them. You need to give them up, because there is nothing you can give them. If you ain't got no love for self, you damn sure ain't got no love for these children that you brought into the world. So I salute all of the people that voiced their opinions and that went in and that will continue to hold these people that have these elevated statures in life and in the media accountable. Hold them accountable. So I appreciate y'all, the men stepping up, not being suckers. So some men decided, you know what, I ain't gonna say nothing because, you know, I'm trying to get next to this chick. You know, I want her to know that I'm with them and I'm riding for them. So I ain't gonna say nothing, even though I really don't agree with Gayle, Gayle or Oprah. I don't like neither one of them. Man, I'm trying to get some action over here. So I appreciate the men for standing up, but I especially love all of you beautiful black women that stood up for us, man. Yes. That rolled for Kobe Bryant. Because they tried to make it seem like it was a black man against black woman thing. And like I said, it's not, it was a black community against a black evil, a black enemy thing. That's what it was. Really? So I appreciate every one of you women that use your voices to speak against what Gayle was doing and to speak against what Oprah and Gayle has been doing for a long time, dragging your men. Keep in mind, if they drag black men and you have a black father, I'm sure you have a black father. You might have black brothers. You may have a black uncle who you say you love, you know, black friends. You got black children, black sons. If they dragging us, if they're dragging black men, all of us are getting it. They making it harder for all of us to navigate through this wicked system that already has a bull's eye on our head. They already got a target. They're already looking at us like, boom, they're the enemy. So if a black woman have a problem with the black men that had been in her life, that she chose to be in her life and it didn't work out, and she's so emotional about it, and so because she's mad about that, she's so emotional that she will sit back and allow others to attack black men, then that's going to be a problem for her, the men that she says she loves. That, like, I don't really know black women that don't love their sons. So you make it harder for your son to navigate in this world when other people are out there and you sitting back and being quiet, or you beating the drum with them when they attack black men and you don't say anything about it. We're going to defend ourselves all the time. We're going to defend ourselves. But
I got a question for you, Willie. Yeah. Vicky Dillard from Fly Nubian Queen TV has something she calls the Butter Biscuit Award. and you got a dog with a raccoon, and the dog is shaded. So she gives out Butter Biscuit Awards to the cooningest black people that are out here. Now I'm a throw something out here. I think that with
similar to what Tariq does. What
I don't know if Tariq got the same thing. I gotta ask him, but I think with Gayle King, she deserves a special honor. I'm gonna make a proposal. Now we got the Council of Intelligent Black People that I call the meetings to order with my Vicky Dilla gavel. And I want to first of all get you, since you are a special guest, man. I want to ask you this, Willie, and seriously, I know you bought up some notorious cooning from Charles Barkley and Don Lemon and Steve Harvey and some others. Do you think that Gayle King deserves to have her black card revoked? What say you, Willie?
I said she's the enemy.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna call to order a meeting of the Council of Intelligent Black People, and we are going to take a vote right now. Should Gayle King have her black card revoked? Put your comments in the chat. Yes, if you think she should have it revoked. No, if you think that Gayle King deserves to have a black card. So should she get invited to the cookouts? Does she get to be black like the rest of us, or has she just become an official white woman? What do you say? I see Terry says hell yes. Love Child Tree says no more butter biscuits. Okay, no more butter. Eric Baptiste says yes. Funk Pill, she never had a black card. Okay, Andrew Smith, I'm seeing a lot of yeses. It looks unanimous, man. It looks almost unanimous. So it looks like by the power invested in me by intelligent black people all around the world, I now issue an order and decree. Gayle King's black card has officially been revoked. The council has spoken. So Gayle can no longer, if you see Gayle at a family picnic, put her picture up on the tree. And if anybody sees her, you need to apprehend her immediately and tell her she cannot come in. She cannot have any barbecue. She must eat butter biscuits until she hits retirement. So Willie, do you agree with that decision, sir?
Absolutely. And I think that she should be allowed to invite a guest. And we already know who she's going to pick to ride with her. Okay,
so Oprah too. So revoke both of their black cards.
Absolutely. We got to get used to that, man. We got to get used to getting those people from around us, getting rid of them. I mean, other groups do it with no problem. Like when you do things that is counterproductive to their plight, they will put you in exile. You will be done. You know, they will make your life, and not only your life, they will make your children's life miserable. They will make your grandmother's life miserable, your granddaddy. They'll make everything about you miserable, because what they're gonna do, they are gonna do you so bad that you will never, not only will you not ever try it again, but they're gonna make an example out of you so that other people who may be thinking about betraying their community don't do the same thing that you did. Because if we don't get at these people hard, if we don't come at them strong, if we don't make it cost them something, then they have no incentive to change. They have no incentive to change their behavior. And others who are watching them do the same thing and still get paid and still get praised, they have no incentive to not do it in the first place. So there has to be an incentive to not disparage Black men and women. There has to be an incentive to not be a sellout, to be a tap dancing Sambo. There has to be an incentive. If they see that these people out here getting money, if they're out here tap dancing and Samboing and getting money, most people out here I know today, you know, a lot of people, they really just ain't got, you know, they really ain't got morals. So like everything that they do is based on how much money involved. A lot of times when you start talking about somebody like an Oprah or somebody like that, they'll be like, man, Oprah got enough money to buy you. Man, Oprah got so much money. Man, she still getting money. You just jealous. She got money. You know, you over here. Oprah out there probably on her private jet. You on the internet talking about her. Everything is about money. Money, money, money. Now, don't get me wrong. Money is important. But no one should ever jeopardize or compromise their integrity for money.
That's
You
right.
should never do that. I don't, and some people have no problem doing it, Steve Harvey. I don't see how they sleep. I don't see how they sleep. I don't see how they look at themselves in the mirror. Because I like money. I get money. But money has never been that important to me. If I lose a bag, I'm talented enough. I got enough drive and charisma to go get another bag. I know how to get money. You know, I know how to get it. So I have no problem. Like, so it's going to be hard for somebody to get me to, it's going to be hard for them to get me to circumvent my convictions, you know, for money. It's going to be very hard.
Well, you know, I agree with you, man. I think the money thing, that feeds into, you know, when we're talking about Black people who are inadvertently converted into white supremacists. Because think about this, right? You know, you put money above everything. If money is the most important thing in the world to you, and you will do anything for money, you'll compromise your values for money, you will, you know, give up your integrity for money, and the white man got all the fucking money, then basically you're going to end up bowing to the white man because he's going to say, oh, you worship money? Well, I got your money. It's like the money is the drug and you're the addict and he's the pusher. And there's never been a situation where the addict had more power than the pusher. So the only way the addict can fight against the pusher is if he cleans himself up and detoxes himself so that he's no longer an addict. So you either got to get rid of your addiction to the drug, or if you remain addicted to the drug, you got to find a different supply. You got to grow your own shit, right? So there's the only two ways an addict can get more power than the pusher is to either get his own supply from a different source or get off of the drug altogether. So in this struggle, you got two types of Black people that's really committed to the struggle. You got wealthy Black people who use their money as power, who are down for the fight. I think LeBron James has been extraordinary in that. I give him mad props for this. You know, because he doesn't seem to show much fear. And then you got folks that don't have a lot of money, who just kind of have let go of their addiction to money, who don't really need to make $50 million a year in order to be happy. And they're able to fight more effectively than the wealthy Black person who is basically on the white man's nipple. You know, if you're economically dependent on another group of people, then you're in such a position of weakness. You might as well just sit to the side. You know, you're not positioned to really fight. You know, so I think in order for us to effectively fight as Black people, we got to know what it means to fight, and we got to know what it means to position yourself to fight. So when I think about my life and the fight that the battles that I choose, the battles that matter to me, I knew from the beginning. You know, Immortal Technique talks about this a lot. That's why I like this guy. Is all money ain't good money. You know, all money ain't good money. So a lot of times you got to turn down stuff before it even gets there. Like I reject offers before they're even made to say no. You know, I've had people, for example, that people know I know a lot about economics and I'm a economic influencer in the Black community, right? Like when people do shit on finance and economics, a lot of times they come to me. So banks will come to me and say, oh, well, we need more Black customers. We want to do an endorsement deal with you. I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't. Because you're going to tempt me with all that money. You're probably going to offer me a couple million or whatever you're going to offer me. And it's either going to constrain my voice or I'm going to piss you off. One of the two is going to happen. Either way, we don't even need to have that relationship because it's not healthy for either one of us. So at the end of the day, I think we got to think about money so we can understand the role that white money plays in Black oppression so we can understand what it means to fight in the struggle. So, man, I'm gonna let you get the last word, brother. What say you, Willie?
Man, again, I want to thank you for your service. I can't thank you enough, but I want to thank you for your service. Thank all of the people that's been out there riding for the cause, our women, you know, our strong men, our strong men, our strong men, our women. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We need you. We love you. We adore you. We need you. We love you. We adore you. Damn what they trying to say. Damn the spin that some of these other women out here who working for the other team, the spin that they be trying to put on it, like we're at war with y'all and we got a problem with y'all. Nah, we got a problem with the sellouts. You know, we got a problem with the enemies. Anybody that's an enemy, we got a problem with you. But you know, we recognize that we need all the allies that we can get. And ain't no greater ally for the black man than the black woman. Ain't no greater ally for the black woman than the black man. Don't let nobody tell you anything different. So that's first and foremost. And last but not least, I want every single one of you to know tonight, no man formed against me shall prosper.
Right on. I love that. I love it, man. Well, I love brother. Well, where can people follow you on YouTube and Instagram and all that? Where can they follow you at?
I'm Willie D Alive across all platforms. Willie D Alive. I said Willie D Alive. I am alive. Willie D Live. Willie D Live. I'm Willie D Live across all platforms. On Facebook, I am Willie D Official. But just remember Willie D Alive, and you'll get to me.
All right. So follow Willie D Live on all platforms. Also, Willie is actually going to be one of my groomsmen in my wedding on July 11th in Southside Chicago. All of you guys are invited. I'm going to put up an Eventbrite. The church is real big. It'll hold 1,600 people. After that, I'm going to have to shut it down. But we're making this into a community thing because I don't want you fantasizing about Meghan Markle marrying a redheaded white boy who made his money from owning slaves. I want you guys really to appreciate that the fact that the royal weddings are the weddings that are happening in our community. So I'm sharing that experience with you guys. I got permission from the Queen. So we're just making it a community thing because we got to celebrate and honor the black woman in every way. And I want to do that through my actions. So I'll put up an Eventbrite. You guys will be invited. Also, if you want a free e-copy of my book, It Takes a Village to Raise the Bar, you can go to drboycewatkins.net. That's drboycewatkins.net. Please hit the thumbs up button, share, subscribe button. Last but not least, if you want to support the growth of the platform, you can do that at intelligentblackpeople.com. That's intelligentblackpeople.com. So take care, guys. Have a good night. Thanks again, Willie, man. I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for stopping through. All right. You guys have a good night. We'll see you soon. Peace.